everybody, my name is Lisa Blackstone with the Horse and Rider Club. Too often when new investors or new purchasers get involved in the horse business, they get taken in that first transaction. Unfortunately, there are a lot of people that know a lot about horses, and for those people who are uninitiated in the art of negotiating to purchase horses, it's a difficult position to be in. I'm going to share with you today the #1, probably best kept secret in the horse industry that will help you mitigate any kind of loss when you first get involved in the horse business. Let me start by explaining this. Most of you are probably familiar with real estate transactions. You know there's one agent that represents the buyer and there's another agent that represents the seller. Rarely is there a dual agency where one agent represents both the buyer and the seller. And if that's the case, then disclosure must be made among all parties so that no one is left in a situation where they could be fraudulently taken advantage of. Because obviously there can be a conflict of interest. The buyer's interests and the seller's interests are somewhat competing. So that's why, normally, you have one agent on each end of the transaction. And if one of the agents does not comply with these normal requirements, then they can be reported to their state board of realtors and possibly have their license revoked. So there's an overseeing body that helps to regulate conduct. The horse business isn't like that. We don't have a body of regulators that can come down on an unscrupulous agent who is possibly pulling the wool over somebody's eyes. On top of that, it is not uncommon for one agent to represent the buyer and the same agent to also represent the seller. See, what happens is you have horses that are perhaps in a training barn or a boarding barn, and that person wants to sell their horse. Well, then there may be a new person that comes into that barn and they're looking for a horse. Well, it makes sense that that trainer or boarding barn operator is in a position to know that this horse is for sale and these people want a horse and perhaps they're well suited. So it leaves people in a kind of a precarious situation. There's not necessarily going to be any fraudulent transaction taking place, but you can see where those competing interests could lead to a situation where you as the buyer are taken advantage of. So what you need to know is ask who is representing the seller if you're the buyer, and find out who is earning a commission. Are you, my agent, the buyer's agent, are you earning a commission both from me and the seller? Find those things out. Ask ahead of time. You don't want to be surprised at the end of the transaction. You want there to be full disclosure, even though we don't have a regulating body that you could report anybody to in the event you later find out that you've been taken advantage of in a situation like that. Now, I don't think that most people in the horse business are out to take advantage of others, but this is one of those anomalies in the horse business that's different from other businesses. And it's best that you be aware of it so that you can go in with your eyes wide open when you're trying to negotiate to purchase your first horse. I hope that helped you. I hope you learned a little bit of something. And if you'd like to learn more information like this, then I invite you to come to my site, which is horseridingvideos.org. And if you sign up there on my home page, then that will take you to a page where you will find 20 more videos very similar to this one. So go sign up. Thanks.